Well, my name is Adam. I'm from London originally, now living in Brunswick. Been in Australia for 10 years and passionate obviously about sneakers, or trainers as we call them where I come from. Massively into my music as well, collect a lot of vinyl alongside sneakers, and passionate about retail. Been retailing my whole life, and now very nice to have my own store and be doing something in the local neighbourhood. Probably not as much of a sneakerhead as I was 10, 15 years ago. Certainly since I've opened the store, I've been trying to keep the shoes in the shop and in customers' hands rather than in my own bedroom. But definitely been collecting sneakers since I was about 10 years old. So I guess, yeah, deep down, I'm definitely a sneakerhead, but I'm probably not as active in the game as I once was. My father had shoe stores in London from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and been selling footwear for a long, long time, and sneakers have always been a passion. I've worked for a couple of global brands in between, sort of gone back to school, so to speak, from a retail point of view, and have been itching for a long time to get back and do my own store, start my own business, and it was a no-brainer. It was always going to be sneakers, and to be able to do something in the local neighbourhood has been really special as well. Certainly neighbourhood would be one of them. Kicks, very, very passionate about the shoes, and it's probably two words, but customer service, being able to, really interact with our customer base, go a level beyond. A lot of the bigger sneaker stores probably can't in terms of ordering products, keeping in touch with customers when new releases come in. Yeah, well, to start with, you have a long list of brands that you want in the store for opening day, and obviously you need a little bit of time to make these things happen. So we didn't open with all the brands on board that we'd hoped for, and we're still adding brands a year later. So probably the hardest part was managing to get the brands that we really wanted in store from the start. And we've had some great traction with the guys that did come on board from the start, and we've been adding brands probably every 2 or 3 months since then. But the first 6 months were tough because you need to be established, you need to have a bit of a name behind you before you can start adding certain tiers and certain levels of product to the store. So that was probably the hardest part, and after that is just, for a new business, the amount of work involved. We're open 7 days, and I'm here for at least 6 or 7 of them every week, which I love, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's nice to get to the end of the year and have a few days off to recuperate. But yeah, that's probably it. Well, having your own sneaker store, it goes without saying, something that you're passionate about, the fact that you get to go out, see all the ranges 6 months before anyone else gets to see them, and obviously selling a product or selling products that you're massively passionate about. It's a joy to come into work every day, and I think enjoying what you do is incredibly important in life, and I've loved every minute of opening this store up. We've still got a long way to go, but yeah, I think just coming down here every day, seeing our regular customers and getting to work with product that I'm truly passionate about. What I see over here is a lot of people incredibly passionate about streetwear. There's so many young Australian labels coming through, even if it's just t-shirt designers. We've got a lot of local brands from Brunswick, from Victoria, and from Australia, and there's a lot of young people really passionate about streetwear and are getting out there and making it happen, whether that be through t-shirts or laces, etc., etc. So I don't know. I think the scene over here is incredibly strong. I think Australia, the amount of product brought in over here is still creating a huge amount of demand, from a lot of brands' perspective. So I think it's there's still a lot more to come. I think Australia is starting to get taken more and more seriously as a streetwear and sneaker destination, and there's some really good stuff coming up. Absolutely. We've been incredibly well supported by Saucony, and love everything that they're bringing out at the moment. They're really hitting it hard with their collab releases, and Australia don't get all of them, but the stuff that has been brought in has been incredibly well received. It's beautifully made, and we'll certainly be getting anything that's available in Australia for the next 12 months and beyond. They're a brand that supported us since day one, and we definitely will be keeping a strong presence of Saucony in the store. And yeah, from what I've seen, the collabs moving forward are just as fire as some of the stuff that's been released over the last couple of years as well. So lots more to come from those guys. Le Coq Sportif as well, had some real nice collabs. Town and Country springs to mind. I've never seen a sneaker with a scented sole before, and that was something really different from a brand with a huge amount of heritage. So yeah, there's lots more to come in terms of collabs from those guys this year. And we've got some of their made in France product coming through as well, which is absolutely beautiful. We've just signed up with Puma for next year, and there's also going to be a couple of collaboration pieces coming in from those guys over the course of the next 12 months as well. So lots to come, and yeah, still working with other brands to see what we can do in terms of their collaboration releases as well. Been passionate about vintage sportswear for a long time. Sort of while I've been working for another brand for a while, I've sort of been satisfying my retail needs by running just a small vintage sportswear stall up in East Brunswick. So that's something that's sort of got me a trip to the States once a year to do a bit of a road trip and pick up some apparel along the way. So it seemed like a bit of a no-brainer when we opened the store to carry some of that into the business as well. So we've got quite a strong following for a lot of the NFL, NBL, NBA, sort of old school sweats, t-shirts. We have a lot of baseball jackets, etc., all from the late 80s through to the mid 90s. A lot of OG Starter, Majestic. So yeah, it's a bit of a passion of mine as well. We'll see what happens with that long term, but certainly in the short term, yeah, it's something that's quite enjoyable to be able to go out and find some rare pieces that are pretty hard to find in other parts of the country, and hopefully it gets me a trip to the States once a year to have a bit of a holiday and find some product as well. We've had so many releases this year, it's hard to say, but I think some of the Saucony collaborations that have come out this year, the attention to detail in the shoes and the box and the packaging, and you know, the little touches that those guys are doing at the moment. Probably the Quiet Life collab was probably my favourite release of the year so far. So yeah, I think probably in terms of the brands that we're doing at that level at the moment, they're certainly leading the way in terms of the nice touches and yeah, some real beautiful materials that they're using. In a Londoner, street uniform is a pair of dark jeans and a pair of white sneakers, so that's definitely was the focus growing up. And as time's gone on, I've definitely diversified into some more sort of colourful collaboration sneakers, etc. But yeah, certainly from my background, it was always white sneakers were kind of the uniform growing up. So I do tend to hark back to that whenever I'm choosing something for myself. Absolutely, yeah. It's something we've been thinking about since the day we opened, and we hopefully have some news on that in the next couple of months. We definitely want to get some Concrete Jungle t-shirts, some sweatshirts out there. We've been talking to a couple of local screen printers and even the potential of collaborating with a couple of local t-shirt designers as well. So yeah, watch this space, and we'll make sure that you guys get some tees as soon as they come out, absolutely. But we'd like to start adding some apparel, some Concrete Jungle apparel to the range. So yeah, expect that certainly by mid-2017.